Welcome to another Cortecloud tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about back types, how you can change the back types from your drawers, your cabinets, and your closets. So let's just move on, going to Cortecloud.com, and I'm going to choose my country, in my case, United States. And I'm going to log in into my account. If you haven't created your account yet, you can register for free by clicking this button. Well, I'm just going to log in. And I'm going to use this project that I have already created. And I'm going to select a base cabinet with 2 doors. And let's change the back types and see how it affects our construction. So first of all, I can see that I have a groove on my sides and on my base. Okay, and I'm using a 3/4 board to produce the back. First of all, I can change the back thickness by editing the thickness in this drop-down list. Let's select a 1/4 board and apply it to the cabinet. So, as we can see, I've selected the groove for the back type. We can change that by going to Preferences, Advanced, and Back. So I've got data back for this cabinet. I can change that by selecting this option, and let's try the nailed or screwed on back. So basically the back's gonna have the entire width and height of the module, where I can just drive the screws to attach the back to the cabinet. Another option is the filter. So in this case, Cortecloud's gonna cut the sides and the base so you can attach the back by driving some screws. And in my case, the stretcher, the rear stretcher is in a vertical position, so I can change that by going to Stretchers. I can change the rear stretcher orientation by changing this parameter and putting the stretcher in a horizontal position, as you can see in 3D. In this case, you're gonna have a machining, or Cortecloud's gonna cut a groove in the stretcher as well. I'm gonna maintain the rear stretcher in the vertical position as I have already defined. And going back to back, I'm gonna change to dado back, which was the first option that we've already seen. And another option is no back. So I can produce my cabinet like this with no back. Okay. And the other option is reinforced back or structural board. In this case, the back's gonna be produced in this way, and you're gonna use screws, or you can select another fastener to attach the back to the sides. Let's change the fastener by going to Fastener, and let's change the fastener for the cabinet by using minifix plus dal, and we got this is the result we're going to get. Minifix applied to the back as well as to the stretchers and the base of the cabinet. Okay, so basically those are the back types that we have. Moving on to drawers, let's talk about back types on drawers. So let's select this single standing drawer set. I'm going to set the height to 10 inches and go into Preferences, just one drawer. That's all I need to demonstrate the back types. So basically, some back types are the same that we've already seen in the cabinets. In this case, I'm using dado back with a thick board. I'm going to change the drawer bottom to a 1/4 MDP board, and that's the result, which is the dado back with the thin board applied to it. Let's go to Advanced and Drawers. I've got dado back on my drawers. I can select Philistine, so the same principle as we've already seen in the cabinets. If I select dado back on sides, I'm just going to get dado back on the sides and not on the other parts. as well as the filter on the sides. It's just gonna cut the grooves on the sides and not on the other parts. And if I use reinforced back or structural board, I'm gonna use the same board as the structure of the drawer. Lastly, nailed or screwed on back, which is the thin board with screws to attach it to the drawer. Okay, so basically the back type on the drawers follows the same principles as the cabinets, just with some slight variations. Lastly, I'm gonna talk about back types on closet cabinets. Let's set the height to 90 inches. As you can see, the back on the closet cabinets, it has some variations. One of the variations are those stretchers, which we can add or remove as we like. So if you go to stretchers, advanced preferences, stretchers, we can produce rear reinforcing stretcher, yes or no. If you select no, no stretchers are going to be added to the cabinet. In my case, I'm going to maintain the stretchers, and you can set the width as you like, going for 5 inches, 5 1/8 inches in my case. So whatever, you just select the width you want to the stretchers. So let's go to back again. You can see the same options. One very important option is to divide the back. As you can see, the back here, it is divided and it's going to be attached with screws on this divider. So it's highly recommended to divide the back, because if you set no, the back's width is greater than the board, you're not going to be able to produce this piece of furniture because it is impossible for the back to fit in that board. So it's highly recommended to divide the back. So you set always yes, and you can move on with the project. Let's have a look at the filter option. If I use filter, same thing is going to happen. Cortecloud is going to cut all the parts with filters, with L grooves, so to say. Dado back is the option that we were just looking at. Grooving on sides. Okay. In this case, just the sides are going to be machined. The other parts are not machined to receive the back. Same thing for filter on sides. Just the sides are going to be machined. Nailed or screwed on. The back's top is going to appear if you look at the cabinet from the side. So be careful on that. If you're not going to have any kind of finishing, it's highly recommended for you to use dado back or filter instead. Reinforced, same thing. Structural board is going to be used to produce the back. Okay, thick board. In this case, the divider is going to have an important role because it's going to sustain or attach the backboards to it. Okay. One more thing about the divider's back, you can select the divider to be internal or external, so following the sides or not. Let's have a close look. Let's put dado back. Okay, so the divider is inside the cabinet, and if I put divider's back same as side, the divider is going to protrude, or it's going to have the same width as the sides of the module. So as you can see, the divider is flush here on the front as well as the sides, and the divider is flush here on the back as well as the sides. So it's an option you can use. In this case, the divider is going to be grooved, or it's going to have dado backs on both sides. Okay. And lastly, you can have the no back option. In this case, no back is going to be produced, and the cabinet is going to look like this. You can see the wall behind it. So there you have a quick summary of the back types on Cortecloud applying to the base cabinets, wall cabinets, drawers, and closet cabinets. So you can change, you can modify the back types as you like, so you can produce your furniture in the way that is more convenient on a daily basis.